Hello, my gorgeous Gemini, and welcome to your weekly reading. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check out your June monthly reading, love bonus, moon reading, all of that great stuff, please do so. Otherwise, please do like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, as your July readings will be going up soon, as will new moon readings that set up, and you don't want to miss those. Otherwise, without further ado, we will go ahead and get here and get started. We don't do reversals on the weekly readings, but we do on all of the others, just to let you know. But let's go ahead and see what we're working with, shall we? Alrighty. So we have the Eight of Cups. We have the Eight of Swords. Oh, sorry. Yes, Eight of Swords. And the Nine of Swords, okay? So it does look like for many of you, you are taken a journey, and I do feel like what that is a journey to get away from something that has really not been great for you. I feel like you have to go, okay? So for most of you, I feel like you've been in a situation where you have not been happy, you're not feeling happy, you feel like you need to get away. Maybe it's a vacation you need, maybe it's just a break you need, but for a lot of you, this is giving me the vibe that you really do need to, you know, kind of run and go and just start anew for some of you, you know, whether that's because of a relationship or whether that's you need to get out of your job and start at a totally new job, new position, you know, because it's toxic, or you're in a relationship that you feel is toxic and you've just got to get out and go. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, is like you're done, right? You're just beat down and done, because it's a little bit further shown here in this Eight of Swords. I feel like it's kind of letting me know that you have felt bound up in this for so long that it's an ongoing thing, right? It's something where you feel like you don't have a lot of freedom, you don't feel like you have a lot of creative license, you don't feel like you have a lot of really joy. I feel like you feel like you're kind of pent in, whether it's in, again, take it as it resonates for you personally. This may be in your career, this could be in your relationship, it may be in both. You may be in a toxic relationship, narcissistic situation where you're not even allowed to have a career and you want one. You know, your significant other's kind of like, you know, not allowing that without, you know, real issues, those kinds of things. But I do feel like you're feeling really bound up, like you need to get out, you've got to go. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean you've got to go far away, you know, you got to move states or countries, but you do feel like whatever situation you're in has to change. You've got to shift yourself and dynamic away from it, whether it's a work situation or a family situation or, you know, relationship situation, because this is definitely telling me that you're in a situation where you feel like you have no control, right? So either, you know, at work, you're not feeling like you're able to get the raises you need, the promotions you need, or if it's a relationship, you feel like you are in a very controlling relationship and you've got to get out. And it's really stressing you out, right? This Nine of Swords is letting me know that this is something that you've lost sleep over, you've been stressed out over, you've not been able to, I mean, this is ongoing. Everything about this is telling me that this is not a new thing. This is not something that's just happened overnight where you feel like all of a sudden, you know, I don't really dig this, I think I'm going to change my mind about something. No, this is something where you have tried and tried and tried to tolerate it. You've tried different avenues, you've tried different aspects, but you are really, really feeling like you are just completely just stuck, right? And you are stressed out about it, you don't feel good about it, and you just feel like you got to go, okay? So I do feel like, you know, there's something you need there, some changes you need to make. Let's see what your challenge card is, as if this isn't challenging enough for you, but let's see what your challenge is with, you know, maybe why you're not going, or why you haven't gone already, perhaps, because again, I do feel like for most of you, this isn't something that is recent. This is a long-term thing for some of you. Okay, Five of Wands. So I do feel like it's because there's a lot of conflict. I feel like maybe you are non-conflictual. Maybe you're a person who doesn't like conflict, right? And so you've tried to just kind of keep the peace. You haven't left. You haven't stirred anything up or raised a fuss or whatever. You just tried to go with the path of least resistance because you don't enjoy this conflict. So this is really your problem here. This is what's the challenge for you, is you don't want this conflict, right? You don't want any issues, you don't want any problems, so you kind of just go with the flow, but you're doing it at your own expense. So you're sitting feeling like a helpless person, completely stressed out, and you know that that's just not, it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right, and you hate it, but you also don't want the conflict, and that's why you're not doing much about it, which is completely understandable, because, you know, a lot of times that's why you have to kind of slip off, right? People slip out, they kind of escape a little bit more so because they don't want to have to face all this conflict. Who does, right? Nobody wants to have to deal with that. So let's see if we can get some help for you here, for information, advice, something. This is the Psychic deck. We'll get something here on this Eight of Cups. See if that can help you with any sort of insight on that, because again, you know, I do see that you aren't somebody who really wants to have to deal with drama, stress, all that, anxiety. You know, you're dealing it with it internally in yourself, but you really don't want to have to just deal with it externally, and I don't blame you. The truth, yeah, you know that the truth is that you can't deal with this much more. You can't. You have to go. You know that's the truth. You know that that is your truth. You cannot handle this much more, right? You are just at the end of your rope. So you don't want to have to deal with it this way. This is your challenge. You don't want things to explode, blow up, get backlash, any of that. You don't want drama. You don't want any of this. You just want to just be left alone, peacefully chill, and go your own way. But you're tired of this. You're exhausted. I can see that. You're mentally and emotionally just exhausted by this. Let's get the Moon card here on this Five of Wands and the Eight of Swords, and see what that has to say for you. But I definitely feel like, you know, you have to follow your truth, which is to leave, because your truth is that you are absolutely just over it. You can't keep staying. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you, and you know that. You already know that. So let's see. Protection. Yeah. So again, this here is, you've been staying for your own protection from this drama here, right? So it's like the path of least resistance, okay? So really, you've kind of just tried to lay low and chill and stay and not really put up a fight, because, you know, you're like, well, at least I have, you know, a safe place, or at least I know I'm getting a paycheck, you know, whether it's a job or it's your home life that is the problem. Either way, you've kind of like, I don't want this chaos, right? And so you feel like in one regard, you're being protected, right? You're protecting yourself by just staying in it, right? Because it's the known, it's the comfort, right? You know you're going to get a pay. If it's a job situation for you, for those of you that applies, you know it's going to give you a paycheck, right? You know you're going to get money out of it. You know it's something you can count on, right? Even if it's miserable, even if it's toxic, you know at least you can count on a paycheck, right? Whereas if you leave, it could cause all kinds of conflict at work. It could cause you conflict trying to get a new job. Your family might be upset. You may not have the money. You'd be terrified. What would you do then? So you feel like in that regard, you're protecting yourself, right? And if it's a relationship, same kind of situation. At least you know here you've got somebody. You're not alone. You've got a home. You've got whatever that they're promising, but they're controlling you, right? You're in a situation that you're not able to be yourself. You're not able to be free. You're not able to be in charge of what you feel like is your own life that you should be. So you're avoiding this conflict as a means of protection, but really and truly all it's doing is destroying you from the inside, right? It's really stressing you out from the inside, making you feel like, you know, okay, on one hand, yeah, I'm at home, I'm feeling like, okay, I have something here, you know, there's that safety and security, maybe, but is it really safety and security if you feel miserable in it, right? Or would you rather have less, you know, perhaps have to take a little bit less for a short time, but have your freedom, have your peace of mind, have your mental status feel better, you know, all of that. So this protection is kind of a ruse for you. I mean, it's your own, in your mind, you feel like you're protecting yourself, but it's not necessarily the case. But what you are doing is you're trying to keep quiet and lay low and be chill to protect yourself from any of this chaos, because you don't like the drama, you don't like the confrontation, and you don't like the chaos. So I do think that part is for sure something that you're doing to protect yourself. Let's get a final general advice card here on this Nine of Swords. Hopefully it will give you some sort of insight into what you need to do to kind of help you get through some of this stress, anxiety that I do feel like you are having to deal with, because I really do feel like you have some internal turmoil from this. I mean, some of you may be in downright abusive or toxic or narcissistic situations, and if that's the case, certainly, you know, this is not healthy for you. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so this is forgiveness will set you free. What do you need to forgive yourself for? Okay, and for those of you, again, like I said, I think a lot of this is I do have a feeling for a lot of you that this is in dealing with a relationship, a controlling relationship, a toxic relationship, and when you're in those kinds of relationships, those people control you a lot by shifting blame, right? They like to goad you in. They like to, they really like to gaslight you, right? They like to make everything your fault, okay? So a lot of it is they convince you this is your fault, you know, and you start to think, what should I have done differently? What could I do? What should I have, you know, how did I get myself into this, right? You start taking all this internally. This is your blame. Why didn't I do this differently? What if I'd have done this? Or how did I get myself into this? All this kind of stuff. And this is what this is telling you. Stop taking on any of the blame. It's never your fault when somebody else is treating you in a way that's not appropriate. And, you know, mental abuse is worse in many cases than physical abuse. A lot of people don't realize that, but it truly is. It can even, you know, that can last a lot longer, right? And if somebody's controlling you, making you feel like you have no control of your own life, and you're scared to even speak up because it will cause huge conflict and chaos, you can't even speak up for yourself without worrying about backlash, that's, you know, that's an unhealthy situation. So for that, you know, you need to forgive yourself of anything that you think might be your fault, or you've been told or convinced might be your fault, or anything that you've convinced yourself, what could I have done different? Let all of that go and realize this person that's put you in this predicament is the one who's not treating you right. They're the one who's caused an unhealthy situation for you. You're the victim, and you need to go ahead and get out of it, right? Set yourself free. It's saying right here, forgiveness will set you free. And that's what you need to do. Your truth is setting yourself free here, you know, getting out of it, right? And the first thing that's going to happen is you have to forgive yourself. You have to stop internalizing all of this. Why am I being treated like this? Stop trying to figure out why, because you can't make sense of something that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for other people to try to control you, treat you poorly, not allow you to have an opinion without blowing up on you. That is not acceptable, right? So if that's how the situation is for you, that alone should tell you, right, that something is not right. So stop internalizing this. Stop thinking you're doing something wrong or that you could have done something different. You couldn't, right? This isn't your issue. The best thing you can do is forgive yourself from any of this, set yourself free, and allow yourself to have what is real protection, okay? And your protection is by living your own truth, where the only person who has control of your actions is you. The only person you have to worry about answering to is you, okay? And anybody that you choose to be around you will be supportive of that, right? And supportive of you, not the kind that would try to control you, or the kind that if you speak up is going to explode and blow up on you, right? That's not what you need to be around. So hopefully this was helpful for you. If it was, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, because I will be putting up new readings soon, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.